Boom! Shake the room, Fire Nation. JLD here, and welcome to Entrepreneurs on Fire, brought to you by High Level, the all-in-one sales and marketing platform. Today, we'll be breaking down the franchise path to freedom. To drop these value bombs, I have brought Greg Mohr into EO Fire Studios. Greg is a Wall Street Journal bestselling author, Forbes Business Council member, and founder of Franchise Maven, helping high achievers build wealth through strategic franchise investing. And today, we're going to talk about the 2 to 3 year ROI framework, about the investigation protocol, fatal mistakes you must avoid, the semi-passive path, and oh, so much more. And a big thank you for sponsoring today's episode goes to Greg and our sponsors. Are you ready for the ultimate all-in-one platform for entrepreneurs, marketers, coaches, and agencies? Build funnels, automate follow-ups, manage clients, and even white label your own software. Say hello to our featured partner, High Level, and visit highlevelfire.com to start your free trial today. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/onfire. Go to shopify.com/onfire. That's shopify.com/onfire. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side. Greg, say what's up to Fire Nation and share something that you believe about becoming successful that most people disagree with.
I don't know that too many people would disagree with anything I have to say about being your own boss. They think that being your own boss is like buying a job, and it's absolutely not buying a job. You want to look for things where you can do it and you have other people doing the work for you, so you're not buying a job. If you get into some sort of business or being an entrepreneur where you're doing the one doing all the work, then yes, you definitely bought yourself a job. But being an entrepreneur is not about buying yourself a job. It's about buying systems and processes that run without you.
Well, Fire Nation, that's why we're talking about the franchise path to freedom today with my main man, Greg, here. And I want to start with the 2 to 3 year ROI framework, Greg, because we need to get to revenue quickly. So how can service franchises specifically deliver a faster payback compared to, say, starting a business just from scratch?
What you're looking for there, John, is you don't think of it as paying for the franchise or investing in the franchise or paying a franchise fee. Think of it as you're paying to skip all that trial and error period, all the mistakes that somebody else has already made. You want to look at that franchise as getting you to where you want to be 2 to 3 years quicker than if you were going to go out there and do it yourself. I like service franchises in particular, but I work with many different ones, so it's all up to the clients I work with what they want to look at. Service franchises have a lower investment, so it's generally a little bit quicker to return on investment. Work from home, have a small office, $150,000 give or take on your total investment. Pick a service industry that has recurring revenue that compounds faster than one-time sales, and look for franchises that have been around for a while and they've duplicated that process in many different cities and states so that you know that they've got that proven track record of success. And really the simple businesses like service businesses, they scale faster. They're straightforward operations compared to, like, I used to be a restaurant manager in a restaurant, many moving parts in that and many different people, where the service industry is a whole lot simpler and gets you to where you want to be and return on investment a whole lot quicker.
I like to talk about product market fit because so many business owners that start from complete scratch, that's one major concern they have to have is, will this idea that I have, will this product, will this service, will it have product market fit? And that's what I love about franchises. You can already look around the world and see all the other places where the product market fit has been proven. It's that proven model you're stepping in. Now it's about hard work and execution, Fire Nation. And of course, things we'll be talking about here today. And I want to move on to the investigation protocol because Fire Nation likes specificity, Greg. So what specific due diligence steps separate the winners from the losers before signing on that dotted line?
John, I have my 5-question investigation protocol that I generally use with people. The first one, of course, is your financial runway. Can you afford 18 months with no profit? Simple as that. You want to make certain that you're well capitalized. Something that people don't always consider is a skills match on that. Not only do you have the skills for whatever business, if it happens to be a franchise like the ones I work with, do you have the skills that that franchise requires of you? And even more importantly, do you enjoy utilizing those skills on a daily basis? The franchise validation process is extremely important. You want to talk to at least 10 franchisees, preferably 15 to 20, and you want to know what they have to say. That's where you're going to validate everything that franchisor told you. And if you want to be one of the top earners in that company, then talk to the ones that are making the most money. Find out, how much did you make? How long did it take to get there? And most importantly, what do you got to do to get there? And make certain that as you're looking at that you can envision yourself doing that. You have those skills, and again, that you enjoy doing those skills. And then market demand. Is there market demand in my territory? Keep in mind, depending on the franchise or business you're looking at, you may not be the target audience, so you may not see it. The franchise is going to go over with you if you go into the franchise route, and they're going to determine, and they're going to show you the demographics of the people in your area and why they feel is a good fit. Utilize also your free resources. A lot of people don't do that. Go to the Chamber of Commerce. Go to the local SCORE chapter. I did that, SCORE. These are business people that have been in business in your area for a long time. Get their opinion on it. Free service, great people. I utilize them. And last but not least is your exit strategy. Can you actually sell the business or franchise? If you look at the service industry and you go for recurring revenue, that makes it a whole lot easier to sell that franchise, or any business for that matter. If you're looking at whatever business you're looking into, if you have that recurring revenue, and think of things like maid service or senior care or groundskeeping, that has a recurring revenue, people sign up for it. A little bit easier to sell, although I had a gentleman who did kitchen remodeling, and after 3 years he sold his business, and that was kind of a one and done type thing. But those are the things that you really need to look at, and that will separate you out and separate the franchises out or businesses out that you're looking at when you go through these steps.
Fire Nation, the investigation protocol, it's there for you to do your due diligence. Greg, thanks for dropping those value bombs. And I want to talk about fatal mistakes because listen, entrepreneurs, man, some of them only have one real swing of the bat before they have to say, you know what, I tried. Now I got to go back to whatever it was that was paying the bills, so to speak. So let's talk about how entrepreneurs can lose $300,000 in a franchise deal. And of course, the strategies that we can implement to avoid a fatal error such as that.
John, the 3 fatal mistakes that I go over with folks to make certain that they've got these covered. One is capitalization. Undercapitalization is going to be one of the biggest ones, that if you try something and you don't realize how much that's actually going to be for you, how much you actually have to invest in it, you may run out of money before you get to where you want to be. So calculate the total investment needed. The reason I like franchising is because they are transparent. So the franchisor is going to have in there, under their item number 7, the total investment. It's going to vary a little bit. It's going to vary because you may be in a different area. If you're in New York City, it's going to cost you a whole lot more than if you were to build a business out here where I live, which is not a whole lot of people out there, so it's pretty cheap to live. But know that total investment needed, and then give yourself a little bit of buffer on that. Skills mismatch is another one. Just like I talked about before, make certain that your daily work matches your natural abilities. If it doesn't, then it's not going to be a whole lot of fun, and you're not going to be a whole lot of enthusiastic about it. Now, if you still really like that franchise and you still want to do it, or that business, then you just have to know then that you're going to have to hire somebody to do it for you. And in which case, when you're hiring other people to do things for you, you're going to have to make certain that one of your skill set is managing teams and managing managers. In the franchise disclosure documents, under item number 20, there's a listing of the number of franchisees who currently started the business and the listing of the ones who started it and no longer running it. So easy math to do the failure rate or success rate, depending on if your glass is half empty or half full. We want to see a success rate of 85 or 90% or better on that. That's going to tell you a couple things. One's the turnover rate on that, and it could be pointing to a couple different things. One, it could be pointing to the fact that it's just not a good profitable business and people are getting out of it if that's a high failure rate. The other one it could be pointing to is that the franchise doesn't know how to select the right franchisees for the business. Think of the movie, if you folks out there have ever watched it, The Founder, with McDonald's. When he first started out, when he was starting to get people into his business, he picked the wrong ones. He picked the semi-absentee owners who weren't running it the way he wanted it run, and things weren't working out. He determined pretty soon after that, that husband and wife teams made the best franchisees. So when you can see that then in item number 20 in the franchise disclosure documents by checking to see what the turnover rate is. So always check that one. The underlying cause I see a lot of is emotional decision making, where excitement overrides logic. So what you're looking at there is something that's in fashion, something that's popular now. You have to really take a hard look at it and see, where has it been? How did it get to this point? And where's it going to go into the future? And really, you do buy with the emotional side of your brain when you get into it. So you've got to feel it, but the numbers have to make sense as well.